Do you ever have like a pet peeve that you don't even know was a pet peeve until you've already pet it? You know, like when a cat just like shows up at your house and then you just kind of feed it because you feel bad for it. And then 2 years later, you're like, I think I have a pet cat. That's how I feel about this pet peeve that I have now. All over the country, churches are being plagued by something that is, I think, embarrassing. Pastors with props. Today, I'm going to be looking at and blind reacting to a page called Pastors with Props _. And this page purely takes submissions of different pastors giving sermon illustrations with different items or different things, and they're trying to like connect it to their sermon. I've purposely been dodging looking at this page a lot because I knew I wanted to make this video, so let's take a look. As you can see, they've gained like 6,000 followers in about 4 weeks, I'm guessing. That's crazy. So they must be doing something right. Already, I can tell I'm going to be mad about this.
The difference of why I'm sitting here today, by the grace of God, is not because I'm better or stronger than anyone else, but I made a decision that this Goliath was not what I was going to pick up first every morning.
Why does she look like Iggy Pop now? Or does Iggy Pop look like Christine Game? Aside from that, why are you in the bed? You had to get a volunteer team probably to say, hey, pick up this bed and can you move it onto the platform and then I'm going to teach from it. What is going on? Let's look at some comments here. Prop 8 out of 10. Sermon 4 out of 10. Account 10 out of 10. That's accurate. Right, but like, why are you in bed though? I got those same comforter liners. I had to save up to get them, LOL, and they got budget to use them one time? Yeah, what's happening to these church budgets right now?
A rescue, and God says to me, I hear your cry.
Why is he teaching from a zoo enclosure right now? Harambe comes out of nowhere and just like snags this guy.
God says that he will come to rescue you if you'll call out on the name of the Lord. See,
I love how slow it lowered. It was like, and then I called out.
I'm doing nothing for myself, but God can do it for me. God is here to rescue you. This is what Easter is all about.
Oh no, it's the Easter sermon. That's what you... What is going on with this? This person says, somebody give me an aisle to walk because I just rededicated my life. Somebody say something. I'm trying to say something. I think this whole page is trying to say something.
Look at that. Man, that guy's good. Come on, somebody. You're probably the only hope to reach people for Jesus in your world. The app, you can share the event. You can get online and say, hey, I'm going to text you. I'm going to send the invites. Get on your Facebook. We make it easy.
So I guess the point is throwing the tennis ball is like somebody's going to catch it if you throw it out there, and that's like evangelism. Not to mention it's immediately followed by, we make it really easy for you, church. Because if there's one thing the American church loves, it's easy evangelism and easy church. I've heard it's working wonders. Also, I think he like signed the tennis ball. I don't know. It could have been part of the illustration, but that feels like super weird. Memes for Jesus. Autographed tennis ball feels like a new low. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. His fit feels forced. The tag on the shoes, the huge hoodie. I'm glad somebody said it. It looks forced.
Just because Saul's bones are hanging up somewhere doesn't mean there's not a David coming. I want you to know there's better days coming. You don't have to let your past rattle in your conscience and steal your... I wish somebody was hearing me today.
You might be the only one wishing somebody was hearing you today. Why is this necessary? I think people understand the concept of bones and a skeleton hanging up. Did you really have to go to, Spirit Halloween and grab a skeleton and walk around the stage with it? It just doesn't make any sense. There's also a corner of this that is all about ladders. Pastors love ladders. Ladders are everywhere in sermon illustrations.
Am I going to continue to live unrighteously, or am I going to continue to live righteously? And see, there's going to be a point in time where this is not going to be as comfortable as it used to be. There's going to be a time in my life right now where my legs are going to start to give away, and it's not going to be as good, and plus I'm not as flexible as I used to be.
Or he surprises us and pulls like a Jean-Claude VanDam and like does a perfect split across. Can you imagine how many people would probably get saved after that?
We can climb both ladders at the same time. I can give emotionally and I can still dream, because my dreams don't cost me nothing and neither does emotional giving. So I can do both. But then when we're going to start being obedient, then all of a sudden, now I can tithe and still have my security. In fact, most people won't start tithing until they start feeling secure. But now if you want to make it to the next step, there's no way I can keep climbing both ladders.
He puts emotion as the basis, then tithing, then offering, and then spirit-led. I think spirit-led goes probably first, right? Like, you've got, like, what are you talking about?
All the world can offer us is a 2-foot ladder.
You got Perry Noble.
And I'm just making the
clapping?
case, how horrible would it be to get to the top of a 2-foot ladder?
It would probably go about as bad as every church plant Perry Noble has had.
What he's telling Nicodemus is all of the ladder climbing you're doing is not getting you any closer to God.
There it is.
All of the rituals and the routines, all of your religion is not getting you any closer to God. It's not getting you any closer to God. It's like trying to reach the moon.
Okay.
They got as high as they could till it started stretching them. And then they made a choice because this was easier.
Why is everyone doing the 2 ladder illustration? What is going on right now?
So we decided
Oh, good, one ladder.
We're just going to keep going up that ladder, and we don't know where faith fits in with all that. Get on the faith ladder. Now
Oh, he's got 2 ladders. Never mind. Okay. I've had enough of the ladders.
It's kind of cruel, but this orange one right here, it's over.
What?
I mean, get a tight shot. He's dying right now.
What is happening?
I'm gonna save him. I saved him.
That's like if someone was like, hey, you want to do an illustration for us real quick? And then just like held your head in the baptismal for a while. It was just like, yeah. And also, what about like the kids there? They just see you take a goldfish out and start to drown it with air. What do you call it? Dry out? I don't know what to call it. They have a full-size plane. They're selling a full-size. Is it a real plane or just a prop? What? What happened to budget management is my question. This is such an odd thing to spend money on. I mean, heaven forbid that you spend the money on a congregant that's in need or just another local ministry and outreach, but instead you've bought an airplane to put on the stage that now you don't know what to do with. So you're trying to sell it and you're stuck with an airplane fuselage on your platform. I'm sorry, but some of these guys are actually stupid, but they think the congregation is stupid. That's what this boils down to. I understand that there are visual learners, but the people sitting there are there hopefully to hear the Bible and to hear you teach about it. They don't need you climbing up and down ladders, putting planes on the platform, getting a lifesaver to pull you up into the sky. Like, they just want to hear the teaching, but without the gimmicks. And if everybody in your church is there for gimmicks, then it's probably questionable what your church is even doing. What these feel like is that they're killing time. I've got like 45 minutes that I've got to preach, and I like really didn't study all that much, but I need a gimmick. I need something. Or they're thinking towards a social media post. How do we take a part of this and turn it into a reel that goes viral? I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, sometimes these videos, they're kind of like a deck of cards, you know? You take the deck of cards, you open it, a lot like you would open up a video on social media. You shuffle through them, and maybe you flip one over and start to watch it, and you're like, oh, that's a 2 of spades. That's exactly what I wanted. Or sometimes you flip one over and you're like, that's a 9 of diamonds. That's not what I wanted. You know, and sometimes you flip one over and you see how pointless this is that I'm doing this. You get the concept of what I'm saying. You don't need me to go through an illustration about it. All of these feel like the pastors think the people in the congregation are idiots. They're like, oh, I I don't think I've ever thought about feeling stretched between two things until I saw a ladder. Like, I know that there's visual learners. I definitely learn better visually, but that doesn't always mean with an actual visible illustration, especially one that's just taking up time. I've had it. That's it. Bye.